Namaste, you are listening to the final chapter of Manav Parichay. Years have passed. Minister Nasir's family has moved away from us, but at his mother's invitation, we visit their home. There, we discover an incredible coincidence that takes this entire story to a new turning point. The final link, Nasir's daughter, Shanaya, has fallen in love with Abhimanyu, the son of his former wife, Firdous. The legal barrier, will Nasir's own progressive opposition become the biggest obstacle in their children's path? Nasir's final atonement. After learning this, Minister Nasir took a historic step in his public life. A step that changed the nation's rigid law for the sake of personal love. The perfection of justice, and finally, Chief Justice of the Supreme Court Harishchandra, Firdos's husband, reveals an ultimate truth in his autobiography, a moral confession that forever defines Nasir's journey and the meaning of Manav Parichay. Listen to how the saga of justice and love concludes at the peak of morality, in the closing episode of Manav Parichay. You will hear Episode 22, Life's Twilight, the Ultimate Truth, and the conclusion of the saga.
Nena and I have now grown old. We still live in the same place, but for security reasons due to being a minister, Nasir's family has moved out of our neighborhood. Sabah still calls us at regular intervals. Nasir's mother is now very elderly. One day, Sabah called Nena and said,
Our Ammi keeps remembering you both. She is not in a position to come herself. She wants you to come and meet her. Nena said, Alright Sabah, it has been a long time since we met too. We will come to see her tomorrow itself. Sabah said, I will send a car to pick you up. Please leave only after having dinner here tomorrow night.
The next day, Sabah sent the car. We both arrived there with the intention of staying at Sabah's house for 4 or 5 hours. Nasir is in Delhi. Nasir's mother has become quite weak. Seeing us, a beautiful smile appeared on her aged face. Then we all sat down on a comfortable sofa.
Sabah told us, our Shanaya is now of marriageable age.
Nena asked, Is Shanaya's marriage being finalized?
Sabah replied, Actually, Shanaya is a good tennis player. She used to play at the national level in the junior category. Since then, she has been meeting a boy named Abhimanyu who plays tennis in the boys category. Both are now young adults. They have fallen in love and want to get married.
I said, What is the problem in that? Such marriages are now commonly seen in society.
Sabah said, Yes, Abhimanyu is the son of the Chief Justice of the Supreme Court, which means he belongs to an elite family, so there doesn't seem to be any problem with their marriage either.
I was astonished to hear this. I know that the current Chief Justice is Firdos's husband. This means Abhimanyu is the son of Nasir's former wife, Firdous. This fact appeared problematic to me.
Then Sabah further explained, this Abhimanyu is the son of Nasir's former wife. Then Nena said, then Shanaya and Abhimanyu are brother and sister. In that case, how is marriage possible? To this, Sabah replied, Abhimanyu is indeed Firdos's son, but his father is not Nasir. Similarly, Shanaya is my daughter, but her father is also not Nasir. Shanaya's father was my late first husband. My marriage to Nasir took place after my first husband's death, long after Shanaya's birth. Thus, Abhimanyu and Shanaya are not even step-siblings. In our custom, such a marriage is possible.
Then I asked, so what is the problem?
Taking a deep breath, Sabah explained. The problem is the law of the land, according to which, Abhimanyu will have to accept our religion before marriage. Nasir is not in favor of such a religious conversion by Abhimanyu. Then Nena said, then it would be appropriate to persuade Shanaya not to go through with this marriage. Sabah said, yes, let's see what happens next. Not many people know about this. This matter has been distressing me for the past few days. My mind feels a bit lighter after sharing it with you.
Nena and I understood Sabah's hint, that we must keep this secret she shared with us as a secret. Since Sabah was familiar with our dietary habits, she had a vegetarian dinner prepared. We enjoyed that dinner with great pleasure. Later, we returned to our home in the car provided by Sabah. After returning home, I am thinking, Firdous had taken a divorce from Nasir. She married into another community. With the change of husband, Firdos's city also changed. Yet, a coincidence of love has formed between Firdous and Nasir's children. Once again, I am thinking that this world is not big, but small. Where, intentionally or unintentionally, some people cross paths again and again. A few days later, we heard in the news.
Law Minister Nasir has introduced an amendment bill to the law which required a boy to adopt the religion of the girl he is marrying if he marries outside his community. While presenting the amendment, the law minister argued that this law was made to deal with the problem of so-called love jihad. Since this problem no longer exists in our country, this provision in the law has become irrelevant.
Upon hearing the news, I began to think that now there would be no difficulty in getting Abhimanyu and Shanaya married. Then, within a few days, this legal amendment was passed. One day, we received the invitation card for Abhimanyu's wedding sent by Firdous via courier. That same night, Firdous called and urged us to come and bless the marriage. Similarly, Nasir and Sabah also urged us to be present at Shanaya's wedding. On the wedding night, finding a place among the very important guests, we felt a sense of pride. Firdous introduced Naina and me to Harishchandraji. Beyond the truth, Firdous described me to him as the giver of her new life. Upon hearing this, Chief Justice Harishchandraji touched my and Naina's feet without any hesitation. Such unexpected respect has left us feeling blessed.
Then Firdous said to me in private, "Sir, I gave my approval for Abhimanyu's marriage to Shanaya based on what you told me."
Sensing the doubt on my face, Firdous laughed and continued on her own.
"Sir, you are thinking, aren't you, that you didn't tell me anything about Shanaya?"
I said, "Firdous, you understand a person's thoughts just by their facial expression."
At this, Firdous laughed again and said, "Yes sir, this is a gift in me from you and my husband Harishchandra. You once said that, Manav Parichay, the introduction of a human, was beginning to be found in Nasir. From that, I thought that, those whose parents are good, the children are good. That is how I found Shanaya worthy of being our daughter-in-law."
In this way, Firdous made me feel special. I remained emotionally moved throughout the entire program. I felt a sense of pride that, by chance one day, I could be of use to this Firdous, who has not even a trace of arrogance despite being in a very proud position. I felt good seeing during the wedding program that Nasir and Firdous were meeting with great ease as in-laws. There was not even a slight hint of their bitter past in their meeting. Perhaps for Nasir's mother, seeing Nasir and Firdous meet like this in the twilight of her life is providing her with the most pleasant experience of her life. For this reason, a rosy glow of happiness is visible on her face, which has otherwise grown weary in old age. The pair of Shanaya and Abhimanyu looks like a match made in heaven. Naina and I blessed them, and then we returned from that grand event. A few more years passed. I am now bedridden. I have begun to see my end near. Naina remains busy serving me. When Firdous heard about my condition, she came to meet and see me. It felt good that Firdous came. Sensing that I was mentally completely healthy despite having become weak, Firdous said to me,
"Sir, knowing that you are a writer yourself, I have brought for you a copy of the autobiography published by my retired Chief Justice husband. I hope you will be able to read it and will be happy reading it."
I answered Firdous with a smile and a trembling voice, "Absolutely Firdous, reading the book written by your great husband will be a very good experience in this final time of my life."
Firdous then said, giving me false consolation, "No sir, you will still be able to live much longer and will continue to provide us your blessings."
Firdous also knows that she is lying. After sitting near me for some time and running her hand over my head, Firdous left that day. This is the extraordinary form of life. First, parents place their hands on their young children's heads like this. Then comes the old age of the parents, in which the children who have become youth, place their hands on their heads and console them. I began to think, one day I had become Firdous's protector. Today she has gone after increasing my willpower. I took 4 days to read Harishchandraji's autobiography. The whole book is extremely interesting. I liked his disclosure of an incident very much, in which he writes, any law should be made only after extreme brainstorming and understanding every side and every situation. I once recommended adding that provision to the law of the country according to which it is mandatory for the boy to accept the religion of the girl being married before marrying outside the community. Then this legal provision was introduced in the country. Then the time came when my own son expressed his desire to marry a girl of a different community. At that time, the compulsion of his religious conversion troubled me. Although before Abhimanyu's marriage, this provision was repealed and my son did not need to convert. Since this personal experience, I believe that no law should be such that we like it when applied to others but feel bad when applied to ourselves. Now that more than 4 decades of the 21st century have passed, it is appropriate for marriages to be such that even after getting married, the husband and wife have the freedom to follow the religion according to their own faith and belief. After reading this incident, I felt, this Harish Chandra is indeed Harish Chandra according to his name. Even if he had mentioned the last 3 lines in the book without writing his truth, his advice would have been just as effective. I am thinking that truly a person becomes great only when there is morality in him. Only in great men is there the moral courage to accept their evil or mistake. Then at the time of my final breath, the only wish left in my mind is that, if God gives me the opportunity to take birth again, let him make me a great man like Harish Chandra ji. With this wish, I passed away.
Now listen to the review, critique, and guidance written by Gemini on this episode of Manav Parichay. Subtitle: Life's Twilight, the Ultimate Truth, and the Conclusion of the Saga. This episode provides an extremely satisfying and philosophical conclusion to the saga of Nasir and Firdous, presented through the final moments of the story's co-character, the writer, neighbour. It validates all the main themes of the story: forgiveness, transformation, and the progress of justice, at the highest level. 1. Circular narrative. New generation, new bond. The decision for the marriage of Shanaya, the daughter of Nasir's wife's former husband, and Abhimanyu, the son of Nasir's former wife Firdous and Harishchand, gives an amazing emotional full circle to the story. There is no blood relation between them, but they are morally connected. Nasir's sacrifice, amendment in law, Nasir's, now law minister, personal experience, desire for his daughter's marriage, becomes a practical challenge. He turns this personal problem into national reform. His decision to repeal the law mandating religious conversion not only makes Shanaya Abhimanyu's marriage possible but is the final victory of humanity over radicalism, for which Nasir had entered politics. 2. Moral justification and the peak of respect. Wedding ceremony. In the wedding ceremony, Firdous, describing the neighbour as the giver of new life, and making Chief Justice Harishchandra ji touch his feet is the highest honour given to the neighbour. This is the peak of gratitude and humility. Firdous's justification. Firdous's belief that she approved Abhimanyu's marriage to Shanaya because the neighbour saw Manav Parichay in Nasir strengthens the moral foundation of the series. Even though Firdous has forgiven Nasir, she still relies on the neighbour's judgment for her moral compass. Ease. Nasir and Firdous meeting with ease as in-laws reflects the total dissolution of their bitter past. The rosy glow of happiness on the face of Nasir's mother is a symbol of the final end to the family's old pains. 3. Harishchandra's truth and the definition of a great man. Final revelation. The final and most poignant revelation of the story comes in Chief Justice Harishchandra's autobiography. Harishchandra himself had recommended adding the law which his son's desire for marriage proved impractical and immoral. Definition of greatness. Harishchandra publicly accepted his mistake and made this personal experience a lesson for national policy. No law should be such that we like it when applied to others but feel bad when applied to ourselves. The writer's conclusion that moral courage alone makes a person great is the ultimate moral message of the story. The final wish of the writer, the co-character of this serial story, to be made a great man like Harishchandra, is not to be refined like Nasir or successful like Firdous, but to become a great man who possesses moral courage. This wish gives the story a philosophical and inspiring conclusion, where the morality of character is the greatest value. Conclusion. Manav Parichay is a strong social novel that courageously raises the themes of morality, progress, and atonement. This story stands in opposition to orthodoxy and conveys the message that human beings can rectify their mistakes. Although it contains extreme idealism and some convenient coincidences, Nasir's profound character transformation and Chief Justice Harishchandra's moral courage make this story inspiring and readable, or listenable. This story has succeeded in presenting philosophical ideas in an interesting manner. The end.